Yeah. Woo! Yeah. Look. If she don't fuck, then she not for me. Shit. If she don't suck, then she not for me. Shit. Scratching bitches off just like the lottery. She made a mistake, grammatical apostrophe. Yeah. If she don't fuck, then she not for me. Shit. If she don't suck, then she not for me. Baby, come fuck with the monopoly. He's sick, the hoe. Ain't nobody hot as me. Searching for somebody hotter, why you even bother? Girl, I'm toasty where the oven be, and I keep the heat. There, nigga, try and follow me. Back from the bank, catch a nigga in the kitchen, brains on the kitchen sink. I ain't playing with these niggas too deep in the game. Balls deep in your bitch, and I want that you don't quit. Girl, don't you lie to me. In the sea, mini fish, but baby, they piranhas. I don't need no drama or no teeth. If she don't fuck, then she not for me. If she don't suck, then she obviously not a freak. Probably not for the team. I'ma keep it honest, G. Prophesy the prophecy. Look, I am me. No one can relate how no one can compare. But you better know I pour that hair one in that dairy, yeah. Like my pussy nice and sweet. Let me taste it, let me feast. Big dog, he gotta eat. On the west and out the east. If she don't fuck, then she not for me. Shit. If she don't suck, then she not for me. Shit. Scratching bitches off just like the lottery. She made a mistake, grammatical apostrophe. Yeah. If she don't fuck, then she not for me. Shit. If she don't suck, then she not for me. Baby, come fuck with the monopoly. He's sick, the hoe. Ain't nobody hot as me. If she don't fuck, then she not for me. Shit. If she don't suck, then she not for me. Shit. Scratching bitches off just like the lottery. She made a mistake, grammatical apostrophe. Yeah. If she don't fuck, then she not for me. Shit. If she don't suck, then she not for me. Baby, come fuck with the monopoly. He's sick, the hoe. Ain't nobody hot as me.
Ain't nobody hot as me. I'm the type to fit that cylinder in her isosceles. Shit, she probably fucking, but it's not for free. What's a cash app, bitch? You'll have a nigga pay your fee. Yeah, I can see just how you whine me. Pouring out of me is this misogyny is riding me. Pick apart the beat or pick apart the pee. Like how the fuck you let them niggas feed your ass that riding me? Got these bitches salivating over me, holding back every temptress dictatorship of the ovaries. Notably said these niggas is white. They too controlling, be calling P like I'm calling power. Head in the rotary. Shit, if she don't fuck, then she not for me. Cop a plea or cop a feel, you still can't catch enough from me. Shit, fuck her fresh about that poverty. Feed her anorexic, think she probably need the calories.
If she don't fuck, then she not for me. Shit. If she don't suck, then she not for me. Shit. Scratching bitches off just like the lottery. She made a mistake, grammatical apostrophe. Yeah. If she don't fuck, then she not for me. Shit. If she don't suck, then she not for me. Baby, come fuck with the monopoly. He's sick, the hoe. Ain't nobody hot as me. If she don't fuck, then she not for me. Shit. If she don't suck, then she not for me. Shit. Scratching bitches off just like the lottery. She made a mistake, grammatical apostrophe. Yeah. If she don't fuck, then she not for me. Shit. If she don't suck, then she not for me. Baby, come fuck with the monopoly. He's sick, the hoe. Ain't nobody hot as me. Me.
What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Quarantino Da GAWD coming at you live and direct. And today we have a very special topic. So I just was on Red Sings the Blues live stream. So y'all guys go check him out. Just posting my banners down there. We're going to get straight into it. Shout out to King Lloyd, the first chat. He says, gang. But we're going to get straight into it, man. There have been some new developments in this whole fresh and fit situation, and I'm just going to keep it a buck. You know, I'm coming out here, and I don't want to seem fake and stuff like that because, you know, I've been on their channel. I've been up there when they did the 100K celebration and all that kind of stuff. And they didn't do anything wrong when I was out there. You know what I mean? Like everything was cool, whatever. They were hospitable, stand-up guys, from my perspective. But the things that they have done behind the scenes, I do believe that it needs to be brought to light. Shout out to Alpha Zoe. He says, as long as Tino don't get exposed, we good. Yeah, ain't no exposing for the boy Tino. I know we did some breakdowns of the Abba and Preach situation and how they came and kind of slid in with the snake moves at Fresh and Fit. And I didn't like how they, you know, made the video 4 months later and this, that, and third. And I don't think they had the knowledge that the internet has now as well, either. But, you know, I'm still not on that paying for box wave. You know what I'm saying? But it's just so many things that have come out, specifically with the brother Myron. And what's happened is he has actually allegedly gotten a Instagram Tatiana pregnant. And this is what I'm going to highlight on specifically because the Pascal show, shout out to him. He did an interview with the woman in question. And she is very spicy, if you will. And she was the woman who they say, quote unquote, Frank Castled herself. Okay. She's the woman who Frank Castled herself onto the podcast. She basically left and she looked really awkward. I know we did a review of it live before and she was mad awkward and she was like, I don't know. She was just super weird. But we're going to break down Shorty's whole MO and you know, hold Myron's feet to the fire a little bit because he got this woman pregnant. Okay. He got this woman pregnant. And when it comes to choosing the mother of your child, this is not the representation that you want. So first of all, what we're going to do is go to her Twitter. And guys, I'm going to her Twitter to get the receipts of the text messages that she sent with Myron. But also what we're not going to do is go to her page and harass her and this, that, and third. I'm just going here to break down what type of woman that she is. I'm not saying that she's a bad person, but when they speak about being promiscuous and these women that you don't want to be the mother of your children, she is pretty much the example of a woman you wouldn't want to be the mother of your children. So we've got the text there, but this is a picture of her body. She's got a very nice ass. Why they call her Miss Cheeks, you know, and she's showing it online. Sexy poses. Oh, well, we can't even go all the, because she's going too crazy. She's going too crazy, but she has a lot of sexually explicit content on her page. And her body is fire. We're not going to lie and say, oh, she's not attractive. No, her body is fire. And I can understand 100% why Myron went raw in her. Okay. I'm just going to go ahead and say that right now. I get it. You know, nice booty. Maybe I'm not going to say he's never had a woman like her, but she's tough. You know what I mean? And her body is crazy. And she is very soft. You can tell, very soft, very feminine, but disturbed. Been in a lot of different situations that are compromising sexually. She literally has videos of her bathing butt naked And I'm looking through her Twitter right now. She is definitely a certified explore page girl. You don't get these pregnant. We don't get these pregnant. And I understand the lust factor from it, but yo, I'm strapping up when I'm smashing shorty. Okay. We're putting on a condo if we're dealing with a woman like this. Yo, she is all the way out there. And like I said, we're not going to go on in her page and make fun. And I'm not telling you guys to do that, but we have to break down this situation. So here are some of the receipts. Here are some of the receipts. She has a whole message thread. And she's going crazy. She's going crazy. Okay. She goes, that man, ... emotionally manipulates and coerces women into extremely rough and degrading sex. He does things that he knows women don't like. He gets on top of them and overpowers them. He pulls their hair and pulls them in positions where it's not easy to stop him. Once he gets on top of you, he's in control. He doesn't use condos. He doesn't give the option. Okay, so she's coming at him with some very serious claims on Twitter. But when she's on the Pascal show, she clearly identifies that it was not him taking the WAP. She clearly consented to the whole situation. This is what I'll say about this with the rough sex situation. We know that women want to get their backs broken out. Okay. Break her back out. You know, it's jokes all around that. We know that women do enjoy rough sex. Okay. We're not going to be out here and be disingenuous and say, oh, well, if you have rough intercourse with a woman, then it's, it's wrong. And this, and that. Look, we get it. Women want slap my ass, pull my hair. We hear Cardi B say it in the songs, in the WAP songs. And so she is coming out with some crazy claims, and this is all alleged. And she already clarified that he did not take the WAP. But look at how she's describing this. And this is why I want you guys to be very particular about the women that you deal with, and especially sleep raw with and impregnate, because she is describing it as it seemingly comes off as she's describing it as non-consensual. Okay. She says, once he gets on top of you, he is in control. He doesn't use condos. He doesn't give the option. He will take advantage of your body. And if you're a person who panics when you can't get out of something, if your body shuts down and you can't move, if you go onto mental shock, it's over for you. This is the same man that says women have to demonstrate sexual value before a man can take them seriously. At the same time, he says, once a woman gives up sex, she loses and the man wins. He also says it's a woman's job to please a man during sex to maintain a man after. So she's basically taking some of his quotes out of context. And they are out of context, honestly. But the fact that this woman is really adamant on defaming Myron is very it's very concerning. And look at her @name, Satan Isha. Satan Isha. And another thing that the Fresh and Fit podcast says, specifically what Myron says, which we know that it is true, that on dating apps, black women are the most undesirable. But yet he ended up sleeping with this black woman who calls herself Satanisha with no rubber. And yes, she is definitely cashing in and making it known that she is the Satanisha that she so claims to be. And we'll hit the Anna Quinn situation, because this whole sequence of events started with the Abba and Preach video. And then after the Abba and Preach video, we also had Nina Unrated come out and say that, hey, Myron was trying to leverage his position and exploit me sexually on the Patreon because he wanted me to go on the nude show with no money. And basically Nina wanted to be financially compensated for the nude show. He didn't want to do it, even though they're making money hand over fist, which I think was a bad business move. You compensate the woman, bro. If you got to pay her $2,500 to get her on the nude show, why not? But from his perspective, he's saying, hey, we built a platform and the woman should be happy to come on our platform. Look, I get it. Okay, I get it. But at the same time, Nina has a platform of her as herself, and business-wise, I wouldn't have handled that the same way. In my opinion, when it comes to business, everybody eats. Okay, and I guess Myron feels that only the men should eat when it comes to a business situation because, you know, and this is not to slight them or disrespect them. Like I said, I don't want to come off as fake, but when it comes to business, it seems that he feels that only the men should eat because I guarantee that the male guests that they bring on, they don't charge them. So that is, you know, pretty disheartening as well. But she says he will say ish like, I want to make you the star of the show. I want help. I want to help you make money. I want to boost your OnlyFans, get you more followers. I know how to help you make 100K quick. I don't take any money from you. I care about you and I want to help you. And honestly, I don't think that like he's wrong for that. Look at all the other guests that they've come on. Issa Lil Baby that they brought on. Issa Lil Baby, you know what I'm saying? She comes on. Nina the Pineapple, she comes on, and I know her OnlyFans has exploded. So I don't think that he is lying when he says he does care and want to help them get that bag. Maybe not by direct compensation, but now she's going to get the bag, especially if she keeps that baby. And then she says, and then you can get off OnlyFans because I know you don't really enjoy it. He will say anything he can so that you feel like he's valuable and you feel like it's a relationship that you need to maintain. He acts like he cares about you, asks about your life, holds your hand, looks into your eyes, I believe. He makes it seem like he is revealing deep, dark secrets by telling you his real name and what he used to do before the podcast. It's obviously information that he's told everybody, but you don't know that until it's too late. I will admit that after I felt my body was taken advantage of, I stayed. I spent more time with him because he really made it seem like he gave a fuck. So she's obviously saying that it was consensual, and we don't need to take this out of context and say, oh, he took the WAP, this and a third. The way he went about it could be wrong. It could be considered unethical. But as far as taking the WAP goes, legally, she even said that he did not do that. So, but the way that he handled this situation was so wrong. He's basically playing the F-boy role. Feed her sweet nothings, get the WAP. And honestly, if she wouldn't have came out, I believe that they would have helped her build up her platform. I'm not going to say that they wouldn't have done that, okay? But, you know, he's out here wilding, you know, and we always speak about dick discipline on this channel. Dick discipline on this channel. Guys, you have to move with dick discipline. You can't just be fucking everything. When you slide in the DMs, you have to be precise. And we're going to try and run through the Anna Quinn situation before I hop on Red Sings the Blues live stream at 6. But I want to get through this and kind of get a little bit of the woman's side of the story. So Miss Cheek says, he took me out to eat. He stayed on his phone the whole time. He had a consultation with one of the fans over the phone. He did nothing but talk ish and talk down to that boy. I felt terrible. He was extremely controlling. We slept together. I had to lay how he wanted me to, even wanted to control how I looked, tried to tell me what to wear when we went out, how my eyebrows looked, how my hair looked, as if I wasn't attractive enough the way that I was. He told me that he potentially wanted more than intercourse with me. So I convinced myself that I misconstrued everything that happened. But the more he revealed, the more I realized he really didn't like anything about me except for how genuine I was. He saw me as weak, and I was weak. Sometimes he even records his sex. He's not dumb. He keeps himself legally clear and asks permission to record. But clout is a drug, and it's a drug that he uses to prey on women, and even women that don't give a bleep about clout. He finds a way. After I had gone on the podcast the second time, the first time I walked out because something felt off. I don't know why the F I went back. The way that that went, you walk in, they hand you a drink and keep your cup full so that you're easy to agitate and you're off your game. I don't like that classification of it because you have the option to refuse a drink. You know, not every girl on there drinks. Facts. I stayed sober specifically so that I could see what the F was going on, so that I could feel the energy in the room, so that I could stay aware. The way the alcohol and the cockiness and rambling of the other women mixed with the leading questions and the BS got me right out of that chair, had me walking to my car. And the fans are the most ignorant, hateful, spiteful people. I explained how I felt and why I felt it on my Instagram, and all I got was your stupid OnlyFans chick. Why did your dumb booty go on the podcast? But after he asked for my number and I talked to him for a little while outside, I feel uneasy. He took the shyness and said he thought it was cute. When I got in the car, he pulled my hair and started kissing on my neck without my permission. I should have known then. He had his way of painting himself as something that he's not. This way of using the way that he looks to his benefit. He has this confidence that almost dares you to say no to him, and I am a people pleaser. Just from the past experiences, I've learned not to say no to men because you never know if they're going to follow you, stalk you, harass you, kill you. But also, I was attracted to him in a strange way. He was very nice to me, very sweet to me. So she is kind of teetering back and forth between the attraction. And I know you guys want to know, oh, is she pregnant or not? We're going to get to that. We just have to lead up to it. But Miss Cheeks continues and says, a couple times during the podcast, and people notice this, he would gently put his hand on the small of my back and push me towards the microphone. He always found a way to touch me or to initiate some type of contact. And that's the manipulation that I'm talking about. Guys, we're going to be both we're going to be on both sides of this. The way that she is classifying this, basically it removes accountability from herself. And a lot of women do this, and I'm not saying that he isn't manipulative in the way that he deals with women. We can see that there is evidence that he is manipulative in the way that he deals with women, and he does try and use his clout and his status to lure women, going strictly against that discovery over disclosure quote that they continue to say. So he does directly contradict himself in that way, and in what he does not match up to what he preaches. But also the way that she is categorizing it as he predatorily did these things to her, she always had the option to stop dealing with him. Okay, so I just want to make that clear as well. He sensed weakness in me because once I got on the podcast, I was quiet. I wasn't argumentative. My social anxiety had me slumped in my seat. I didn't look confident. And instead of going after the woman that openly disagreed with him, he thought that I was the proper target. And to be honest, I've had my share of clouded interests, but I wasn't used to men of his fake caliber taking any interest in me so quickly while I was fully clothed, barefaced. The interest almost always seems from Insta, not in person, so I definitely was flattered. It's all a part of his game. And to make matters worse, he created a life with me. He lied and told me that he was 99% sure he hadn't, but that I should take a plan B anyways. I didn't take one because they make me extremely sick, and if he was 99% sure, I didn't feel the need, and now he's handling it like a complete a-hole. And look, guys, he busts all in her. She wanted to keep the baby. She didn't take the plan B. She said, oh, because it makes her sick, this, and third. Look, she wanted that baby. She knew how much clout he had. You know, he brags on his show about how much money he had buying real estate, having crypto, having this much. It's like he set the trap for himself. And it's really tough to watch. Okay. She said, I've been depressed for 2 weeks. I've left the house once, and now I'm in a new state/city by myself and having to get an abortion. Alone, he says he'll be by my side for it, but I don't want that type of energy around me at all. At some point, I told him that I was ovulating. I told him that I was extremely fertile. I told him that I wasn't on birth control. He didn't give a F about any of that. Yeah, so he definitely should have wrapped up with this one, bro. But anyways, we're gonna check out some of the other receipts of the text messages between the two. He says, I think waking up together naked wouldn't be too bad, LOL. She says, I mean, it sounds good, but I'm thinking like beyond that. Then what? You know, I can't expect you to tell me, especially when I have it demonstrated my sexual value, as you put it, LOL. But I just don't want to turn into someone that you spent one night with. I'm getting way too old for that. He says, hell no. You know too much at this point. Haha. I don't do one night stands anymore. I have a lot to lose with all the fame we are getting. What you doing now? She says, grocery shopping. He says, I just got into bed. You adventurous? She says, I think you should sleep. Whatever. So she goes on to hear the message, I guess, is cut off. And it says, I'm not sure what you're interested in from me. And so I really just don't know how to proceed right now. He said, I just want a girl that listens to me. You're making things very hard. She says, LOL, you can find that anywhere. Why do you want me? Or why do you want it from me? Like, how do you just want me to blindly listen? Do I at least get to know what I'm listening for? Am I listening because you want to smash me? Am I listening because you think you may potentially want something more? What am I listening for? So she's putting him out on blast all the way. And then here is the ultimate receipt that you guys have to check out. She says, I don't intend to play a blame game. Okay. From here, or she says, okay, from here, shoot straight with each other. I'll be direct. Or he says, from here, shoot straight with each other. I'll be direct. And he sends her a voice message. Okay. And he says, I think waking up. Oh, yeah. So that was the earlier message. So here we go. We're going to listen to the voice message just for proof that it is him.
Hang out, go for a walk, something like that. And yeah, enjoy the sunrise the next day together on the balcony. So yeah, I'd be happy to have a night with you alone.
So there you have it. She got the receipts, man. She has the receipts, and honestly, I'm surprised that her Twitter is not blowing up right now. But you know, there's a whole bunch of people covering this. There's a whole bunch of people covering this. But what I want to cover is the interview that she had on the Pascal show, and that is what's damning. But first, let's get to some of these chats. Black Ken says, never mix thirst and business. There is way too much WAP out here. Black Ken says, long story short, she was really into him. He moved her to the side for the next woman. She thought she was special like they all do. Now she's pissed. Alpha Zoe says, everything you say to a woman is like talking to the police. Everything you say, text, and do will be used against you later on when y'all break up. Yeah, that's facts. Black Ken says, no cap, never open up to a bit. Short text. Alpha Zoe says, athletes, rappers, celebrities, YouTubers consistently getting exposed and they refuse to learn. Yeah, man, these guys, I mean, and like I said, man, when I was with Fresh and Fit, I'm gonna keep it a buck. They was 100. They kept it cool. They was stand-up dudes, whatever. But when it comes to the way that they are falling in these girls' DMs and trying these girls, it's definitely wrong. And that's not the way we do it. That's not the way we teach you guys over here on Quarantino Da GAWD's channel. And yeah, so here we go. We are going to look at this interview from Miss Cheeks on the Pascal show, and we will break it down for you guys, man. It's a very intricate, detailed, involved interview that will give you a little perspective as to the type of game that Myron is running, which I do not agree with the type of game that he is running. Okay. The way that I do it is always based off of the strength. I'm never trying to leverage my clout in this and a third. If a woman's attracted to me, then I'm scheduling a date and we're trying to go for it.
Like him. Okay. So he's trying to say some sweet nothings. He's trying to romance her. Right. Now, we do, of course, have Gray with us on the show. We have got to talk about all this stuff. Please.
Alpha Zoe says, Fresh and Fit are cool guys and they are living the good life, but they are similar to my NFL homies in the way they deal with women. Yeah, man.
Please Gray, you have got to tell me, how the hell did you get on this show in the first place? Please tell us this story.
Well, first of all, I hope you.
And I want you guys to notice, I know they're in Miami. I know it's hot, but just notice that this woman is in a bra on the Pascal show, which is, considerably a professional show. She's in a bra. And this is not to discredit her, but again, like I said, this is the type of woman that we are dealing with. And she's bad, y'all. She's tough. And a woman like this is the real definition of what a succubus is. Okay? She drew him in. He drew her in. However you want to categorize it. He wanted her for her voluptuousness. She wanted him for the clout and, his attractiveness. And they came together in a middle ground, right? But this is the type of woman that she is. She's an extremely promiscuous woman. We're going to keep it a buck, okay? Even though she is this way, that doesn't mean that it gives him the right to treat her however the, F he wants. But at the end of the day, I keep telling you guys over and over and over again, women love embarrassing men, especially on social media. And Anna Quinn is a representation of that. And maybe we'll look at those text messages as well, too, and break down her video.
You can hear me better.
I can.
But basically, a good friend of mine on Instagram, he told me that he was going to pick the girls for the show for a particular night. And so he picked me. So I was invited. And right when I got to the building before the show, I got a little nervous. So I was like, I really don't want to. And he kind of got upset. He was like, just do it. You got it. Like, just go ahead. So I went. And yeah, that's how I got there. First time.
Okay. So now here's the thing. Okay. We got to keep it straight funky. Because you were on the show, right? You went there 2 separate times. The first time is one of those big videos that they are sharing on their platform where they basically said the easiest Frank Castle ever or something like that, where you basically Frank Castled your own damn self, right? Now, the thing is that you were there and a lot of people are speculating that this happened. Like the reason why you looked uncomfortable and that you quote unquote Frank.
And honestly, the way that he handled getting her in bed, the way that he got her, pulled her initially, I don't think he really went crazy. He didn't really, it wasn't the texts that she had were too crazy. He was spitting game, whatever. And it led up to but the after effect, after she told him that he was pregnant and the way he dealt with that, that is where the problems lie. Okay, that's where the problems come, and this is where we have a teachable moment.
Castled yourself was because there was already a sexual relationship with him already prior to this podcast. Is that true or not?
No, not at all. No, not true.
Okay. So then tell me, why did you Frank Castle your own self on their show?
Well, like I said in my tweet, one of the first things that they do when you walk through the door is they give you some sort of waiver. And
guys, make sure you like the stream. Make sure you share the stream.
They give you some alcohol. So that kind of, the vibe was off already. And then.
So they sign a waiver to, because when it comes to entertainment and your likeness, they basically let you know that, hey, your likeness is going to be used. You can't come back and say, hey, I didn't want to be on the podcast. You consented to be on the podcast. There's nothing wrong with making the woman sign a waiver to get on a public platform for your own safety. So let me just make that clear as well. And then also when it comes to the alcohol, baby girl, you don't have to drink. And I'm pretty sure when you go up there, they're not, oh, you got to drink. Oh, take a drink. Let that. They might suggest, hey, have a drink if you want to drink. Most of these girls go there to get lit because a lot of the times the girls, and it may be messed up to say, but a lot of the times these women don't open up. They don't show their real personality unless they've been drinking. And we have, you know, a lot of evidence to prove that, because a lot of girls go out into bars and clubs, get drunk, and then smash a dude. Whereas if they didn't get drunk and they didn't, you know, get that liquor in them, they wouldn't have the confidence to approach the guy and get smashed by him on the first date. It would be so many different things and scenarios running through their head that they would crap out. Okay. But in this scenario, she was offered drinks. She took the drinks. I don't see a problem with that.
Like, I kind of wasn't as confident because everyone else had like ass out, titties out, club outfits. And then here I come with my fucking sweatpants on, because that's just how I am. And I'm just like, damn, all right, I fucked that up. But I could tell that the personalities in the room just didn't vibe with mine. So I was already uncomfortable. I do have social anxiety. And I think a lot of people struggle with understanding the fact that, you know, I could post my ass on Instagram all day. I can do OnlyFans all day, because there's a barrier between. You know, it's not live, it's not in your face, all that good stuff. So when I get in the room and there's these cameras and these microphones and you know, it's like there's no room for error. And that just kind of made me more nervous. But it felt like, and I'm not trying to be funny or not trying to throw shade, but for one, the things that they were talking about, I really didn't give a fuck about. Like, it doesn't impact my day-to-day life. I don't think about it ever. The questions themselves seemed very leading, and the women.
So listen to what she just said. She said the questions that they had, she doesn't give a fuck about. She doesn't give a fuck about the podcast. She doesn't care about the topic. She doesn't care about you know, men's problems in dating and this and that. She doesn't care. Women don't care about men's problems in dating. This is what you guys have to understand. We come on here, we come on the YouTubes, and I'm guilty of it myself. We discuss these topics of how, you know, women are doing this to men and women are doing men wrong and this, that, and third. But in all actuality, these women don't give a fuck. She even said out of her mouth, it doesn't pertain to my day-to-day lifestyle, because at the end of the day, the dudes that she's dealing with, either they're paying for the pussy, right? Or, you know, there's some bum dudes. And she even said on the podcast, she's been with some homeless dudes before. There's some bum dudes. Okay. There's some bum dudes that she dealing with just strictly for the D. But I bet she'll have the abortion for them. I bet she'll take the plan B for them.
Kind of like contradicting themselves a lot. So if you mix all that together for someone,
yo, Black Ken, that was funny. He says, does that mean he's an Arab Pookie? Yeah. It kind of looks like he's an Arab Pookie and Tyrone.
Who, I don't know how to put it. Like, it just was a lot of bullshit. It was a lot of bullshit.
Yeah, I was going to say, I was just about to say, like, you were just seeing through all the BS. You just had enough. You're just seeing all these fake people or people trying to be fake, going back on what they would probably say behind closed doors, what they would honestly say behind closed doors. But they realize that the cameras are on, so they're going to say whatever they need to say to sound cool or to sound attractive or so that they can sell their OnlyFans account or sell, you know, whatever. Like, you know, these two guys, Myron and Fresh, you know, they're trying to sell a $2,000 course, you know, type thing. So they're going to say whatever they can to.
All right. Let me hit that point with the course. Guys, me personally, I would never sell a $1,000 course if it didn't pertain to getting people more money. Okay. Now, if it was a course it was an all-inclusive course with financially and this and a third, cool. But just to get girls, like, I wouldn't do it. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not mad at them for making the course $1,000. I know it took a lot of work. I know they put a lot into it and they did a lot for it. I'm not mad at that. But 1,000, woo! I like the pricing scheme. It's smart. It's intelligent. They did their damn thing. But me personally, I wouldn't be selling the course. And if I was selling the course, I would live by that course and I would do by the course. See, the problem with Myron, I think specifically in his case, is that he does have a lot of pride and he moves with the prideful energy, and it's not wrong to do that if you are maneuvering the right way, right? But what happened is he got caught up in the fame, he got caught up in the clout, he got caught up with the allure and the women that were pretty much willing to do things with him that they may not have necessarily done if he had not gotten to the position that he is in at this moment.
Keep the eyeballs on the show, keep people tuned in, keep people enticed and interested. Now, the thing is, and I understand, okay, you got up and you walked away. That was podcast show number 1. So let's talk about this. Show number 2, the second day, you showed up. Why?
So she left the podcast the first day, and then podcast number 2, she shows back up. She left the podcast the first day because she had social anxiety, she was scared, whatever. Podcast number 2, she shows back up.
Because for one, I'm not a quitter. For 2, I somewhat felt defeated. Because I knew that if I had stayed calmer, that I had a lot of things I felt were valuable to say. And I'm not a bitch. I felt like a bitch. Like I felt like a punk, and I felt played, and I knew that I did it to myself. So I felt like I had to fix it.
Okay, so wait. So just so I know, and of course, because I got to cover all the tracks and everything, cover everything. All right. Because I got to play devil's advocate, and I got to be, team gray and anti-team gray. Okay. All right. So you left. You
can tell that this woman, to me, it seems like she's heavily sedated. You can tell that she, uses drugs, partakes in the drugs. Does this discredit everything that she's saying? In the court of law, potentially. But I'm going to take it at face value, and we're gonna see where she takes this.
One, because you were like, I'm done with BS, right? But then you went back on day 2 solely because you're not a quitter, or were you more concerned about your social media following and stuff, knowing that they have a large platform, and you're like, well, if they let me in, I still can save face because I don't like looking like a fool in front of thousands of people. Could that be the reason as well?
It could have been 2 people, and I still wouldn't have wanted to look like a bitch. You know what I mean? I didn't go there for that. And if you see, like, a lot of the women, talked about their OnlyFans and plugged their OnlyFans and plugged their Instagrams. I didn't do any of that. I didn't plug any of my stuff because I didn't give a fuck. You know what I mean? What I do on Instagram, it gets traction on its own. I really don't need misogynistic men to help me gain a platform, and the followers that I have gained from them are followers that I have gone through and had to either block or set straight or call out on their bullshit or tell them not to bring that bullshit to my page. So it's been more of a headache than anything else.
Okay. Fair enough. Okay. So let's go back to the podcast. Podcast number 2, you showed up, right? Mm-hmm. You showed up, which a lot of people, if they know the story, I'm sure, like we just kind of covered that. Sure, they would probably have a couple questions of like, hey, why would you just come back? But you still came back. You wanted to show good face. So you did. You showed up. You did your thing. So after the show, that's when he started to try to holler? Or was he trying to holler before then? Like, when was the numbers exchanged, the phone numbers? Because obviously those screenshots, those receipts that you have are from phones. That's not Twitter or Instagram. So when did the numbers get exchanged?
It was after the second podcast. I was downstairs actually talking to the door lady. That's my best friend at the building. And he asked me for my number, and he basically was like really smooth. He was mad smooth. He was really confident. Like, he was so smooth. He came up to me and
So she said he was smooth. and this is the thing. I don't think that Myron doesn't have game. Okay. I don't think that he doesn't have game. I think that what happened was the combination of his game, the the image that he has to present on the podcast, and just his lust for a super attractive woman that, you know, maybe he hasn't really been with a woman who looks like she does, with the type of body that she does. Maybe he hasn't been with that type of woman, and the lust kind of it overcame you know, his mindset in the way that he moved specifically with this woman. But like I said, I don't think that he doesn't have any game. I just think that there are aspects of his game that definitely need to be cleaned up, especially when he's sliding in these chicks' DMs and text messages and going back and forth.
It was like, you know, I really admire you for coming back on here. And it was really mature of you to apologize and all this good stuff. And he was like, you know, he started talking his shit early because he was like, you know, we got to get your Instagram up. We can get your OnlyFans up. We can get shit popping. Da, 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 da. And I'm just like, oh.
And a lot of people would say, oh, him saying we can help you out with this, help you out with that is tricking. So why doesn't he just straight up pay for it? Guys, just because you can bring a benefit to what a woman got going on doesn't mean that you're tricking, okay? It doesn't mean that you're tricking. If he directly paid her and this and a third, then okay, yeah, we would say, yeah, that's tricking. But a lot of, I think the angle Abbott and Preach were coming from, they were saying, oh, well, they have the seeking arrangements and this and a third. And they and they're telling people, hey, we can get you clout off the podcast and we can help you make money off the podcast. That's tricking. They're trying to classify that as tricking. No, unless you're exchanging gifts and money directly for intercourse, then you're not.
Oh shit, okay. She's like, you know, you want to hang out, and I'm like, that. I don't see a problem with it because I figured that he was different. Like just like women sometimes get on platforms, and I mean I don't, but get on platforms and they kind of portray their character. I felt like that's what he was doing, so I wanted to know if that's who he was always. You know?
Right. So he was coming at you in that particular way, trying to say what's up, but he was also using his clout in a way to leverage getting a number or enticing you to go and have dinner or go out. So then what happened? I know that you said it in the tweets, but you know, a lot of things are left in between those 150 characters. So where did you guys go for dinner? How was the date? I know he was looking at his phone, but what else happened in that date?
So basically a couple days passed and I was supposed to be on a couple of the podcasts, but I wasn't. I was invited. I didn't go. Because I just didn't want to. But a couple days passed and I kind of let it simmer for a second because I was like, I'm not about to just throw myself on this man. And we kind of texted a little bit, but not much. And then he invited me to come watch another podcast.
Yeah.
So I did. I was sitting.
And honestly, guys, there's nothing wrong with what he did up until this point. I don't see anything wrong with the way that he's moving up until this point. Maybe, you know, he misstepped when he said, hey, we can get you this, we can get you that. Yeah, I mean, I hear that. Maybe he shouldn't have came out that forward with it. That, hey, we can get you clout, you know, just fuck with me. Let me get your number. You know what I mean? But I don't see anything wrong until she divulges the little secret.
In the back. And sorry, it's a plane. I don't know if you
No worries. Oh, I can still hear you loud and clear. We can still hear you.
So I sat in the back, and then the first time that we went out with the producer, one of the guests, and another girl. So we went out to get sushi. We were supposed to go out to the strip club, but we didn't go. And then that.
So Black Ken says, Tino, Allende spilled the beans. And this Allende was a guy that they used to work with to source girls. Just put the link in the chat. We'll check it out. What do you mean? What did he spill?
that night. No. I'm trying. Let me make sure I got my shit straight now.
No worries.
Make
Take your
sure.
time.
Okay, yeah. Okay, no. Back it up. The day before, that same day, before I
Mhm.
came to the podcast, I came in the morning. That's when those texts, that's the text, the screenshot.
Yeah.
That was him convincing me to come over that morning. So I came over that morning, and that's when when I got there, he was like, I just want you to lay next to me, which I thought was cute. So I was like, oh, that's sweet. So we're laying there or whatever.
And here we go. This is where she gets into deep waters.
He's very peculiar about how he wanted me to lay, which I thought was a little weird. But I mean, whatever. So
Okay.
we slept for a long ass time, like just slept, like nigga was knocked.
Okay.
Like snoring, mouth open, knocked.
Drool and everything. Yeah. That deep sleep.
But it made me feel good because I was like, damn, this nigga comfortable around me. Because if I'm not comfortable around somebody,
guys, do not let these OnlyFans models and IG Tatiana sleep over. I've said this time and time again. I got a story coming out about a woman who stole a $13,000 Rolex from a man who was her John. She left the shower on and then left the crib. Guys, I know that he said he might have wanted to start taking her seriously, but he didn't know this woman from a can of paint, and she's sleeping over already. She at the crib, laying up, sleeping over. Come on, G. She said your mouth was all open. This is how a lot of these celebrities get caught lacking, where the woman is in the bed with them and then she start filming and then she start, putting them on blast. Oh, guess who I'm in the bed with? You know what I mean?
I can't sleep. So I was like, okay, that's kind of sweet.
Okay.
So then when I'm trying to figure out how to say this carefully. I'm treading as carefully as I can.
Gotcha.
At one point, he woke up and entanglements occurred.
Gotcha.
That were very intense, very rough.
Watch how she categorizes the sex that she had with Brother Myron.
Very
Red Lens, you're right. Odell Beckham got filmed a few years back and there was cocaine and drugs involved, and it wasn't a video of him doing it, but there were drugs involved and people saw it, and it was a big thing, and he had to put the hush hush on it. So yeah.
I'll say this. I'm a grown woman, right? And I put myself in that situation, right? So
There we go. So she's taking accountability. She says she's a grown woman. She put herself in that situation. She laid up with this man.
I'm a grown woman, right? And I put myself in that situation, right? So I'm taking accountability for that. I'm not saying that rape occurred, but if
What's good, TikTok? In my TikTok audience, you already know we're live on YouTube. So if you want to check out the YouTube, go to my YouTube channel, Quarantino Da GAWD. It is in the bio. Make sure you guys show some love. Check out my Instagram as well.
There's a certain legal term for it, and I can't think of it right now. But if you are having sex.
So then let me ask you this. You this. Okay. If you're not saying it was that, then you're saying it was consensual.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But it was just maybe on a scale of 1 to 10, it was more like at a 20 type of deal.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. And at certain points, I asked for certain things to not be done, and I explained that I didn't like certain things done. And they were done anyways, and I was put into positions where I could not move. I could not get out of those positions. It was extremely rough. It was extremely uncomfortable. And
okay.
That's all I'll say.
No, I got you. But this was the first time? Was this the first time, or that was the first time?
Mm-hmm. And then
okay, so how many entanglements, how many sessions did you guys have? Like
Yeesh.
a bunch of times, or was it just
No.
one time and one time only?
It wasn't a bunch, but I convinced myself that after I'd come to
Yo, the red lens says certain things she didn't want to be done, aka anal. Yeah, and then apparently she said she didn't want him to pull her hair that hard and stuff. And honestly, this is a black woman, guys. Remember, her hair is not that long. She's got the coarse, curly, kinky hair, fro type. So if you pull that hair, oh, that shit hurts. That shit hurts. Okay, so I mean, I've had hair about her, I mean, my hair is longer than hers now, but when I was rocking a fro, my hair was, close to as long as hers was. And if you pull that shit, it's definitely gonna hurt.
the podcast, and after we had gone out with Shorty and the producer and all that, another time did happen, but that was because I had convinced myself. I was like, I really like this guy. He's kind of being sweet to me. He's really being nice. He's really taking an interest in me. And maybe he didn't fucking understand what I was saying. Maybe he didn't hear me. Maybe he wasn't getting me. You know what I mean? I really like him. I'm going to overlook all the bullshit.
So, guys, this is what a lot of women do when they talk about the F-boy. Oh, he was an F-boy. Oh, he was such this and such. So, and then guys usually ask, so why were you dealing with him? Why'd you deal with him for so long? Why'd you keep sleeping with him? Oh, well, I tried to make it where I thought I could change him. I didn't know if this was truly him. I wanted to see the real him, this, that, and the third. So I kept sleeping with him. When in all actuality, she realized, oh, the sex is good. I like dealing with him. He got bread, He'll go when, after we have sex, he'll go and take me out to eat.
Because that's what women do in a lot of situations. And I find myself like, I do it in life a lot. Like, if I sense some bullshit, I try to give it another chance. You know what I mean? To unbullshit itself. But it was literally the exact same thing again, but worse. So, me being,
yo, guys, do y'all think she has drawers on? Do y'all think she has any type of underwear on? Do y'all think she has? Yo, King Lloyd says Myron was pile driving that ass. Yeah, apparently. Had Shorty bent doing the Cirque du Soleil and was just clapping them cheeks, boy. Hey, man, I hear you.
Weak-minded, maybe? I don't know what to call it. Or me being forgiving, or I don't know what to call it, but me being who I am.
I mean,
I know.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, you go ahead.
No, it seems like you were just trying to give the whole situation the benefit of the doubt. Like you were just giving it a try. Maybe, and I feel like that happens with a lot of women, or a lot of people. I'm sorry. A lot of people that will sit there, and if they're thinking that this person's a good person, or well, he or she is showing me interest, let me just give this person a shot. Let me just give this person a try. That was one time. It was weird, and the sex was weird, but it could get better in time. He'll understand my body, and I'll understand his. You know what I mean? So I could see where you were trying to just give him a shot, give him a chance. I could see that. I could definitely see that.
Once I explained it to like a few people that are close to me, and I explained fully, they were like, "Do you understand?"
Y'all, do y'all think she has drawers on? Put a 1 in the chat if you think she has drawers on. Put a 0 in the chat if you think she doesn't have drawers on.
What you're explaining? And I'm like, nah.
Oh, and listen to what she just said. And I think this is a great learning experience for people who are talking about the grape culture and this and the third. Look, this woman he didn't take the WAP, bro. He did not take the WAP. Was it a weird situation that she got herself into? Absolutely. Should she have been dealing with brother Myron? Probably not, especially at her emotional state and her emotional understanding.
Did to like a few people that are close to me, and I explained
Okay.
fully. They were like, "Do you understand what you're explaining?" And I'm like, "No, I don't understand shit."
So she said, yeah, I talked to multiple of my friends and they told me that what he did was great. What he did was non-consensual. This is what a lot of women will do. They'll explain a sexual scenario. Oh, we had passionate sex and, you know, it was uncomfortable a little bit. He woke up and just started fucking me, but, you know, he was going this. And then they go tell their friends, and then their friends hype it up and turn it into a situation that it's not. Like I said, I don't think that Myron was moving correctly in this way. He was not moving correctly when he dealt with this woman, especially nutting in her, raw sex, all that stuff. Wilding. But for her to classify this as him taking the wop, I can't get behind that.
Shit, I kind of like him. He's being sweet. I don't get it. What am I supposed to understand there like that? That's not how stuff works. That's not how it's supposed to go. That's not how it's supposed to be treated. And a couple people pointed out like that they could kind of sense, especially in the second podcast, like that he was somewhat preparing me to be manipulated. Like he was grooming me somewhat.
Come on.
How so? How so?
Some of the things that I watched, like that I noticed when I watched is he would take his hand and kind of like push me to the mic, but very gently. But either his hand was always on me, or y'all couldn't see it, but our legs were always touching. And I saw in one of his videos before that he felt like initiating contact and seeing if a woman breaks that contact or not is how you can tell if you can go further. So, but I didn't know that until after the fact. I didn't watch all this till after the fact. So while this is happening, I'm just like, okay.
So him telling her to get closer to the mic is manipulation. Got it.
Shit, our legs are touching, so fuck what? Like, I'm not, in my mind, I'm like, okay, whatever. Or there was a point where we were all talking, and I don't remember who was talking first, but he was like, all right, everybody talk one at a time. Gray, you can talk. And that kind of favoritism, a lot of people notice. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and then there was one comment that I made. I don't know what the hell I said, but he looks at the camera and like raises his eyebrows, like, "Oh shit," kind of like that, and that happened multiple times. So, I think,
So what she's talking about is on the podcast, a whole bunch of people talk at the same time, and then she basically he basically gives her the benefit of the doubt, and he puts her word over the priority of the other woman after he slept with her, which I don't have a problem with that. If he wanted her to get her 2 cents off and hear her perspective, hey, there's no problem. Obviously, she's going to be jaded and say what he wants to hear in the conversation, and that's kind of what she did on the podcast. And she was trying to say some red vitamin adjacent things in the podcast to gain his favor, and she is classifying that as he is grooming her to be this type of way, when in all actuality she just said that to impress him, not necessarily he made her say it or he groomed her to say that. She wants to look favorable in his eyes because she sees, oh shit, I'm sleeping with this guy, we have a balcony, rooftop, whatever, so I'm gonna say whatever the fuck I need to say to stay in this position.
I want to clarify. I did spend a couple of days total with him. And I know we're probably like, well, if you felt like it was so this and that and the third, then why'd you stay? But I don't know, man. I really liked him. I really did. At first.
There we go. There's the truth. She really liked him. Case closed. He didn't take the wop. Now we have to get on to Myron's side. Brother, why are you clapping this? I need to look into why are you clapping Shorty's cheeks raw, bro?
And I mean, he was very, very sweet to me. Like he was so different. You know what I mean? Like,
right. I mean, but you know, from my understanding, it seems like he came to you. He was, you know, putting on the charm. He came to you different than what, you know, some of these other girls that have like Anna Quinn came out and said some things. You know, you also got Nina Unrated that also came out and said some things too. Obviously, two.
So the Anna Quinn situation was when he slid in her DMs and had a pissy fit because she denied him. That's what happened. It was wrong. It was wrong the way he came at her. It really was.
Drastically different scenarios, but they came at both those women two separate, completely different ways. So, I mean, this is something completely different. It seems like he was just whining and dining you and was trying to romance you in a way. Yes, things behind closed doors between the sheets were a little off and all that. But it seems like he was courting you. Like he literally was just trying to approach you, right?
Yeah.
So, but at the same time, things obviously got really, really rocky. And we are going to get into that. But real quick, I need to throw this thing up too, and because I would love to hear your thoughts on this super chat. Thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Toby, he said she chased a dude with clout and fame and got finessed. Happens a lot.
I didn't chase him. He chased me, sweetheart.
Dudes like Myron are clowns. And women tolerate it because they have clout. 2 L's. What are your thoughts on that?
Nasty heart. I was minding my business. He approached me for one. And then for two, I don't give a fuck about clout. I don't. And I keep trying to get people to understand.
Her saying she doesn't give a fuck about clout.
Some women do, but me personally, I don't care. I genuinely don't care.
So then, so you genuinely don't care. We talked about you going back on the podcast the second time.
Mm-hmm.
Well, why did you go on the podcast the first time then? What inspired you to go
calling
on?
Me right now. He's literally calling me right now.
So he's calling her because maybe he's watching the Pascal show live. And he's seeing her spill the beans about their personal situation.
Calling you right now? Okay. That's interesting.
Honestly, it would have been great content to go live and answer the phone.
But what inspired you to get on the podcast?
What inspired me to do what? Sorry, I'm shook.
What inspired you to get on the podcast the first time? The very, very first time.
I really wanted to keep my word. Oh shit! He's calling me back to back. Sheesh, made me sweat a little. Okay, yeah, no, I wanted to keep my word for one, but for two, I really felt like I had some shit to say, and I was prepared to say it until I got there and everything was off. Like I was really like, I'm gonna get on here and I'm gonna talk my shit.
I ain't gonna lie, she reminds me of one of my ex-girls for real. She really does.
And if what they say is true, then I'm gonna say that. But if it's not, then I'm gonna say that.
Gotcha.
And it didn't work.
Gotcha. Okay, fair enough. Let's go into the twits, the tweets. Okay, I say twits all the time. Sorry. Let's go into the tweets really, really quick. Okay, let's start with the very, very basic foundation of it all. Because there's a lot of people that are obviously going in on you saying, oh, yeah, you're just doing, you're putting this story out here on the Twitter. All right. On the twits, setting Twitter on fire right now because you're trying to get some clout. You're doing it for the clout. What originally made you put out that long thread in the first place?
Because this morning when I woke up, I've been depressed as fuck for like 2 weeks.
Guys, she says she's been depressed for 2 weeks. She was probably depressed before that. Stop dealing with depressed women. If she tells you she's depressed, it's a high likelihood that she's going to react emotionally, and it's a high likelihood that she is going to be vindictive at the demise of the relationship.
Simply because I'm pregnant for one, for two, like all this, but like I've just been depressed. So I have
the red lens says Freudian slip by Pascal there. Yeah, he was probably thinking about those tits and he said twits. Oh, I say twits all the time. Nigga, you don't say twits. Nigga, shut the fuck up. You was looking at them titties and you got it mixed up with tweets. You got tweets mixed up with titties. And people wonder, why women shouldn't be modest. Look, when a guy is having a conversation, if I was having a conversation with Shorty right now, yeah, I'm going to be like, there's no way you're going to be avoiding those titties. She's literally in a bra.
and really think about everything. And as I was thinking, I was like, okay, well, first, before I do this, do I think that the way that he was approaching me was genuine? Do I feel good about the way that I was approached? Do I feel good about the way that everything happened? And my answer to that was no. And then I had to think, well, okay, why don't I feel like it was genuine? And I don't think it was genuine because if you're trying to tell somebody that you care about them, if you're trying to tell them that you give a fuck about them and all these other things, but when you create a life with them, all that shit goes out of the window, then it makes the person feel manipulated. And so I was talking, one of my friends had tweeted something about them, totally unrelated. And I was like, this is a fucking sign. So I DM'd them and I was like, yo, what made you say that? And they're like, oh, because I've been watching their stuff and I watched the one with you on it and everything just seemed off. And that's when I was like, I think I might have something to say. And they're like, well, you know, don't rush yourself. If you don't feel like you need to say it, say it. If you want me to say it for you, I will. I was like, no, I'm grown. It's time for me to say that shit myself. I'm tired of sitting with it, you know?
Right. Right. So then, okay, because obviously I got to play devil's advocate here. Okay. I got to wear the other hat real quick. And then I'm going to jump on this super chat here really quick. But what would you say to the people that are thinking that you're just disappointed ex-girlfriend that was in hopes that this was going to transpire into holy matrimony or love or romance or whirlwind romance that just fell flat? What do you say to people who are sitting here saying that and thinking that right now?
I would say that, to be honest, if I was truly like just bitter, I would have kept that shit to myself, because I don't think the way that I worded what I said came off bitter. You know what I mean? I think it came off really genuine. So
Okay.
I tend to keep bitterness to myself until it settles, you know. But I don't. Shit happens and shit doesn't work. And if it was a case of just shit not working, you know what I mean? If we just didn't vibe or if anything like that, then I'm not gonna go off on somebody because shit just didn't work. But if you manipulate me, if you make me think you want something that you don't, and then you use me for my body, and then you try to use, you know, dangle clout over my head and all that other bullshit, like, you're not gonna do that and think it's okay. So no, I'm not bitter. I don't care.
She's definitely bitter, y'all. She's definitely bitter. She got pregnant. She got pregnant. She got finessed by Myron. It is what it is, man.
I don't meet somebody and just emotion, and then, like, you know, I'm like, oh shit, I love them, I want to be in a relationship, I don't jump to those conclusions. I let it be what it is.
Gotcha. I got a super chat really quick. QB Willie B, thank you so much for the $5 super chat, bro. They said, he says, never trust a dating coach on YouTube. Fresh and Fit needs to be banned from YouTube platform. Okay, so I'll say,
nah. Banned, hell nah. Banned, nah. But they definitely need to course correct.
This, I don't think that they should be banned. I just think that they need to step forward. They need to apologize and address all these allegations, the multitude of different allegations. They need to properly apologize to Abba and Preach. And then they need to come towards their platform in a different way. They need to come at it in a much more mature fashion. I get the clout, I get the fame, I get all that stuff blowing up, and that can get somebody really cocky. That can all get in somebody's head, and then they forget about everybody else. The ego is a crazy thing. So that's what I think, just in regards to that particular comment. I mean, you know, to each their own. I mean, you don't, and here's the other thing. You don't have to listen to them. You don't have to watch them. You can always find somebody else like this platform. Shameless plug. You can always go to somebody else to listen to.
Okay, so I thought that was some sucker shit. Oh, you don't have to watch them. You can come to my, like, come on, G. You know what I mean? Like, even though we're coming down on Fresh and Fit Head right now, which we have to do just to, we got to be straight up. We got to be real. To say, oh, yeah, you can come over to my book. Like, come on, Pascal. I mean, I know it was a lighthearted joke, but it's just like, come on, G.
And be entertained by. But I do think that they need to step up and apologize. That's just me. That's just my personal opinion. first and foremost, and then figure out what you're going to do with your platform the right way, rebuild it the right way. But we got to get into this thing, okay? We got to get straight into it because obviously we don't have a whole lot of time. I'm sure you need to go and talk to Myron here shortly because he's calling you a whole bunch, whether or not you are going to decide to talk to him. But we do need to talk about this big juicy bomb that you did drop and that everybody, all these commentators, okay, all throughout the manosphere and outside the manosphere on YouTube are talking about. Are you really pregnant?
Yes, I'm pregnant. I'm
Is
very
Myron
early,
Gaines?
but yes,
Is Myron Gaines the father?
yes, he is.
Okay.
Sheesh.
Now, we have to talk about this. All right.
Mm-hmm.
When you did talk to him, when you did drop the news on him, how did he react? How did he first off initially react?
Initially, he was very calm, which was unexpected. I was sort of upset. I'm a people pleaser. I don't like to make people upset. So I was upset that it happened.
Girls say this all the time. I'm a people pleaser. I don't want to make people upset. Just keep it a buck. You liked him. You didn't want him to get mad that you didn't take the Plan B pill. She says she's a people pleaser. Like, you weren't people pleasing him when he told you to take the Plan B and you didn't take it. How is that being a people pleaser? A people pleaser is supposed to put their own or supposed to put other people's feelings above their own.
And I thought that he was going to be upset. And so he called me. He was super calm. He was like, listen, everything is going to be fine. You can get an abortion. I'm going to pay for it. And I'm just like, okay.
Wait.
Straight to abortion.
Hold on. Time out for 1 second.
But, you know, her face, when he said you can get the abortion, I'm going to pay for it, her face went as if women aren't out here saying my body, my choice. Yes, pro-abortion. Go get that abortion, girl. If you don't want that baby, you shouldn't have to carry it. Like, she said it in shock, as if like women don't see having or being able to have an abortion as, you know, their crown jewel or something. Like, women take pride in being able to say my body, my choice. I can sleep with as many guys as I want, get pregnant as many guys as I want, and still get an abortion, and you can't say anything about it. And the man has no ability to affect that decision.
So he initially responded saying, "I'll pay for the termination."
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Wait. Okay.
But that it went from I paid for the termination, blah 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 blah, to it's your fault. I told you to take a Plan B, and you didn't, and you betrayed my trust. And
which is true. If she didn't want to take the Plan B, she should have told him. She was being very deceptive, and this is what Pascal didn't point out. She is being very deceptive in the fact that he told her to take the Plan B and she didn't do it. He told her to take the Plan B and she didn't want to do it. If she didn't want to take the Plan B, she should have told him that.
And because I remember.
But the thing is, you're not going to get the truth from a woman whose @name is Satan Isha.
After the fact, he was like, I'm trying to think of exactly how he said it, but he was like, I was like, if I am pregnant, but you said you're 99% sure that you did,
right?
But if I am, you know, then abortion's an option. Like, it's something I consider. And so then once,
oh wait, that's what you said. I'm sorry, you're breaking up a little bit.
That's what I said initially. Before
okay.
I knew that I was actually pregnant. Now everybody knows, or maybe not everybody, but most women know once you're pregnant, I don't give a fuck how. You know what I mean? You are it's just a thing.
Right.
I already have a child, so it's easy for me to get attached quick to harboring life or just life in general.
So she has a child already.
But anyway,
gotcha.
So his initial response.
That's what she said, right?
Gotcha.
Attached quick to harbor. I mean, you are it's just a thing.
Right.
I already have a child,
Mm.
so it's easy for me.
She already has a child. Myron is finna be stepdaddy. Yo, she ain't getting no abortion, bruh. She's not. I highly doubt that she'll get an abortion. Stepdaddy.
To get attached quick to harboring life or just life in general. But anyway,
Gotcha.
so he
E-Love says if it were a broke nigga, she would have took the pill. Absolutely, you're right. I told you guys she didn't want to take that plan B. He said just came in. Did Fresh and Fit knock this woman up? Yo, only Fit knocked her up, not Fresh and Fit. It would be crazy if what if Myron and Fresh smashed her and then she was carrying twins? That would be the biggest story of. I mean, that would just make YouTube blow up.
True response was, I paid for the abortion. Then after that, I went to, it's your fault. You betrayed me. You betrayed my trust. Blah, 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 blah. As if I had impregnated myself. Like, everything was just my fault, right? And
shout out to Wiz G. He says that's why you got to be there when they take the plan B. Leaving the trust off a woman could cost you 18 years. I swear that these guys have preached this on their channel. Be there when she takes the plan B. Make sure that she's on birth control if you're going to hit raw. Don't hit it raw. Hit her with a condom. I swear that this has came out of these dudes' mouth. And the problem with me is that the inconsistency of how they're living. Bro, I would have never raw dogged a woman like this. I wouldn't have. It would have been impossible. And if I did, then she would have been taking that plan B, bro. And I would have looked her in her eye and I would have had it ready. And she would have drank that glass of water. And I would have stayed with her. I would have put it in, the food or whatever. Been like, hey, here's an easy way to digest it. We'll go get some breakfast and you take the plan B and we good. And we'll hit some Waffle House. You throw it in your sausage, egg, and cheese biscuit. And you know what I mean? Well, hold up, excuse me, man. What come on a sausage biscuit? Y'all remember that Travis Porter song?
then
Wow.
when I told him that I was shaky about abortion, that I had just moved to Miami, that I don't have any family support, that I'm here by myself, and that I kind of was shaky, I just really didn't. The abortion thing wasn't vibing with me. He kind of got upset. He told me that a baby would ruin both of our lives. He told me that he would sign away his parental rights. He told me that
wait,
basically.
Whoa. Roll that back. I'm sorry. Time out. You just dropped some other bomb right there. So he said if you end up keeping the baby, he's willing to sign away his parental rights. Did I hear this correctly?
And that is where I can't agree. If she keeps the baby, yo, you're a man. You step up to the plate. You take care of the child. You be involved in that child's life. They speak about single mothers and, it's the single mother's fault. And this, that, and third. Look, bro, you can't have it both ways. You can't say, it's the single mother's fault. She decided to lay down with the man. So it's her fault. And she, took the pregnancy to term. Look, if she decides to do that, yeah, you fucked up because you busting her. If she decides to take the pregnancy to term, bro, you have to step up. You got to be a father. You don't want to create another toxic black male growing up in America who is only guided by his mother, and his daddy is like a bum, no good, ain't shit nigga who's not involved in his life. We over here do not condone that. I grew up with my father, and I would never abandon my child. I don't care how toxic the woman is. I don't care how much I don't like the woman or whatnot. I would try and find a way to at least let that child know that I'm trying to be involved in their life. And if he can do the co-parenting thing with Miss Cheeks, then he needs to let it be known so that he has control of that child, so that that child doesn't grow up and get made fun of, how we talk about on the podcast, or how they've talked about on podcasts, how other spicy adult film actresses get made fun of for, doing porn and doing illicit things online. He needs to be involved in that kid's life to let her know, hey, look, your mom, she's on this type of time. If she doesn't want to stop, and if he can't get her to stop doing what she's doing, but your mom, she's on this type of time. This woman, you don't want to tell the kid that you made a mistake, but you need to let the child know that, hey, your mom is on demon time, and that is no reflection of the type of man or woman that you will grow up to be. It is what she chose to do. It's her individual choice, but that doesn't mean that it's right. Posting naked pictures is not correct. And as a father, you need to be the one to come in there and say, hey, look, I know that your mom is on demon time and she says that this is okay, but this is absolutely not okay. And this is not what I want my son to be. I don't want my son to be looking at this content. And I don't want my daughter to be looking up to women like this and thinking that she can also create this content. So Myron absolutely has to be involved in this kid's life if she takes it to term. And that's just my opinion on that.
I don't think I have that much wax in my ears. He literally said he's willing to sign papers, to sign away his parental rights so that he cannot claim this child as his own. What? Okay, please come.
But see, this was the thing.
What?
When he said that, part of me was okay with it, and part of me was like, okay, if that's an option, then that's something that we can explore if you want to do it, because I'm not gonna ever force anything on anyone, because
have mercy.
It's not fair. He didn't force the plan B on me. A lot of men do, creep shit like that. He didn't do that,
But the thing is that you got somebody who is willing to go have unprotected relations with you, knowing that he ain't going. He's not wearing the proper protection. So he's already playing Russian roulette with that stuff.
Right.
Doesn't matter. Pardon my French, but doesn't matter if his pullout game's strong. It's still a possibility of impregnating a woman. So where on God's green earth would somebody think that it's all your fault? It takes two to tango. It's both y'all's fault.
That's what I said. And then not only that, but like before everything happened, I was like, for one, I'm ovulating. For two, I'm super fertile.
Oh my dear God! Wait a second.
I gave every warning.
You told him. You gave him a heads up and said, "Yo, I'm ovulating." I'm super.
Yo, Myron says, "Shit, I don't give a fuck. I want that ovulating pussy." He said, "I'm finna bust all in this wet ass ovulating Miss Cheeks Satanisha pussy."
Fertile.
He said, "I want that demon seed. I'm on demon time, nigga."
Zero dams. Zero. Okay.
So, and the thing was,
shout out to Blue Collar Lifestyle. He says this woman is enjoying the drama and attention. This is why I don't deal with women in the States anymore. Yeah. And you gotta, hopefully Myron gets the DNA test, but you gotta make sure that you are protecting your seed and practicing discipline. Alpha Zoe says, once again, we have said this before. Most of these sex workers and OF girls have husbands, fiancés, and baby daddies and kids at home. She better take that plan B like a Skittle. Master Deck says Myron should file for full or majority custody, but he's already said that he would give up his custody. Van Lee says Myron going to be sending that future text message in 7 years. Your mama ho. The Red Lid says Myron's parents must be besides themselves, considering they are Muslim. Yeah, I guarantee. He says that his mom told him not to deal with American women. This is where they get you. Van Lee says this girl bad, skin smoother than a mug, and when she on all fours, I can understand why this happened. But I thought Myron had more fortitude than this. Blue Collar Lifestyle says pregnancies are never accidents. Master Deck says here's a twist. Myron low-key likes her. And that's what we haven't taken into account. Myron may have really had love for this woman until she came out here and exposed him and did all this. So he really might have had love for this woman. Yeah, he said it looked like he was trying to make her one of his plates. And it looked like he was trying to add her to the rotation, add her to the team. It looks like he really had some love for this woman. Alpha Zoe says most modern day women in the Western world think like this. To be honest, she's a 5 out of 10 on the toxic scale. I've met worse than Miss Cheeks. Alpha Zoe says sign the papers so Pascal can step up to the plate. Be the stepdad. Stepdaddy. Stepdaddy, can I rub your bald head? Philip Carlisle says, this crazy. Salute to you. Appreciate it, Phil. Van Lee says, and just imagine the thirsty guys in the DMs. Myron can't even form a proper relationship with this chick. The whole internet knows her. Guys will be in her DMs heavy for a long time. Myron, your mama warned you about Western woman. Yeah, I mean, he said it himself.
To talk to me in person. He was like, let's meet in person. Let's talk about this. All of this, he was very, very smart about. He didn't say a lot in text. You feel me? That's what people do when they know they're wrong. But he was like, let's talk in person. And we had a whole like 30-minute argument because I was saying, all right, if we're gonna talk in person, I want privacy. You know what I mean? You invite me up to your apartment. I don't care if you gotta have the conversation recorded with all these cameras you got. I don't care if you're scared of accusations, further accusations.
Right.
You know. But he was like, no, I want to meet you in the lobby. And I'm like, I'm not about to talk about aborting, signing away the rights, keeping a baby in the lobby of your apartment building.
He probably had a girl up there.
Dang. So Pascal throwing a little player hating shade into his game. He told Shorty he probably had a girl out there. Oh, she's finna be a very vindictive baby mama. Mark my words.
Real talk.
Maybe, to be honest. But and that was my thing. Like, no matter what, like, if you gotta go up there, okay, tell me to come tomorrow or tell me to come the next day. But I'm not about to talk to you in the lobby about something that serious. And it just showed me that, like, to him, it was just another thing to like hurry up and like get rid of or finish with. But it's like, my guy, it's a life. And then he was like, and my thing is like,
do y'all think she's had an abortion before? Put a 1 in the chat if you think she's had an abortion before. Put a 0 in the chat if you think she's never had an abortion.
How do you? He said to me at first, like, it's so many things that he said that I can't remember exactly in what order the bullshit was said. But he's like, part of me just doesn't feel right abandoning a baby. That's why I would like for you to abort it. And I'm like, so you'd rather?
So he's saying when that baby come out, he was finna dip.
Fuck up a life. And then after that, then you change.
Yo, the Red Lens says, I bet her first baby daddy deal Myron soon after this drop. Yeah, nigga slid in Myron's DMs like, hey, bruh, so you fucking on my baby mama? Hey, bruh, so you fucking on my baby mama? That's really probably the reason why Fresh brought the strap, because them niggas was at Myron's head top. He was like, shit, I gotta protect you and myself.
Change your mind to, oh no, I'm gonna sign away my rights. So you do want to abandon it. Like, so either way.
Damn, Van Lee makes a crazy point. He says it's funny that people were saying Fresh needs to be replaced, but Myron is the one bringing the heavier heat to the podcast. Fresh seems to have his bitches in check. Yeah, Fresh got his hoes in check. You know what I mean? Fresh is my nigga too, and you know, I know they going through a whole bunch of shit right now, but yo, Fresh got his hoes in check. They're not. I said this on Red Sings the Blues podcast too. I said, yo, it's not gonna be women coming out against Fresh like this. I don't see that to be the case, because I think Fresh moves a little different. Fresh moves a little smoother. He's not as arrogant. He's not as cocky, because I mean, let's keep it a buck. No disrespect to Fresh, but you know, people consider him, oh, he's an ugly nigga, this and a third. Okay. So people consider him to be the ugly nigga. So he's probably been humbled a lot in situations. And he's even admitted on the podcast that before he was clouded, he was fucking fat ass ugly bitches. So, you know, he knows how to handle these women a little bit differently. And he's more, he doesn't have these hard stances that Myron takes on the podcast, which, you know, Fresh has a lot more nuance in his game.
You just don't want shit to do with it, but you did, and you're not holding yourself accountable.
Blue Collar says Fresh married a single mother, Fit knocked a single mother up. This comedy script writes itself. Sheesh.
Like, I'm not here to say he raped. I'm not here. Yes, is he really fucking creepily forceful during sex? Is he really rough during sex? Yes, but he didn't rape me. I consented. He was sweet to me after. He took me out. I wanted.
There you go. She said he didn't take the WAP.
Fucking cereal. He took me to get fucking cereal. Like, he held my purse while I was walking. Like he did everything that a gentleman is supposed to do, but in a very manipulative and conniving way. And that's the fucked up part. If you're the type of man that you say you are and you're this top tier alpha male, you don't have to act like that. You don't have to do shit like that. Don't manipulate people. If you want to fuck, just say that and let the woman decide. Yeah, sure, I want to fuck her. No, I don't. But don't let the fact that you think you may get a no cause you to act stupid as fuck.
Yo, blue collar lifestyle says held her purse. LMAO, mega simp. Yeah, I wouldn't hold the woman's purse, but honestly, I mean, after you fuck, things definitely change. I will say that. So things that you wouldn't have done before you smash, you know, you'll probably do it now since you smashed already. Holding the purse is crazy, but holding the door, pulling the chair out, you know, those type of things. Yeah, okay, I can see that.
Right.
Alphazo says Pascal throwing fuel to the fire so he can. He didn't finish his thought, but yeah, Pascal throwing fuel to the fire. Red Lynn says he bought her some Captain Crunch. That's love. I told y'all that nigga has some love for her. He should have put the Plan B in the cereal, though. Damn, Myron. God, my nigga should have put the Plan B in the fruit berry Captain Crunch. What's the berry Captain Crunch? I'm gonna look it up. The berry Captain Crunch cereal. What's that shit called? Captain Crunch berries. Yeah, he should have put the Plan B in like some Captain Crunch berries. And you know, because all the colors are different. You know what I mean? This yo, I ain't gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie, yo. This is exactly what Myron should have did right here. This is what Myron should have did. This is exactly what Myron should have did. He should have said, "Eat up, bitch." He should have did the paper plane, the choo-choo train, choo-choo. Put the Plan B at the end of this or at the bottom of the spoon with a big ass scoop of Captain Crunch berries. Choo-choo. The train is coming. Open wide. Say ah. My man Myron should have been feeding Shorty that Plan B, G. Now it's tough. He should have been feeding Shorty that Plan B, dog. On gay.
I'll just say this: a good man is not one that just pours you a bowl of cereal. I'm sorry, you got me at cereal.
No, it was just cute
Right.
to me because we had just went out to eat and I didn't really like what I had. And I told him at the restaurant I didn't like it, and he switched it for me. He called the waiter over. He was like, "She doesn't like her food, blah blah blah." But I just really wanted some fucking Cocoa Puffs, so he took me to get cereal, and that was just cute to me because I wasn't
Okay.
expecting it.
All right, but you
See, Pascal keep trying to throw some salt in Myron's game. No cap.
said that he was doing things, but you said
But
he was doing
shit. Myron poured the sea salt on his own game, honestly, and that's the fucked up part about it.
these things like holding your purse or getting you those Cocoa Puffs, right?
Yeah.
Van Lee says once you smash, you can get a little simpish. That's quite normal. Facts. He also says, Tino, that is brilliant. He should have put the Plan B in the cereal. Absolutely. The Red Lens says, side note, I love me some Crunch Berries. Hey, me too. Me and you both, Red Lens. Alphazo says, the crazy part about all of this is that she's still going to smash other dudes. Be careful who you impregnate. Alphazo might have the chat of the night. Fresh is the definition of sneaky link. Van Lee says, Myron's potential baby can also be tainted. I have heard that a lot of pregnant moms will get it in behind your back. Facts. And I can guarantee she takes drugs. So the health of that child could be in question as well. Blue Collar Lifestyle says Pascal's a mad hater, completely on her side as if she's innocent in all this. Yeah, and I agree. She's not innocent in this. She doesn't get to walk away free. But the way that he approached it, it was lacking of red vitamin game.
Manipulative way. How is he being manipulative? By holding your purse or doing those things. Yeah.
None of this was out of genuine interest. It was, I want to manipulate her. I want to try to do, like you said, basically the bare minimum. And see what that gets me, and see where that gets me, and see what I can do. And then I want to talk my game. I want to you know, tell her I can help her make money and this, that, and the third. And, you know, I just want to see. It's like, I feel like it's a game to him. I do. Like, I don't feel like he genuinely does anything when it comes to women, because you can't talk about women the way that you do on your platform and move like a genuine person. You just can't.
Yeah. You know, the thing is well, we got another super chat really quick. Thank you, Toby, for the $5 super chat.
Van Lee says on her second stint on the podcast, she said that the most important trait for her short-term link is dick size.
He says Myron is a buffoon, but women control access to sex. Y'all got to stop letting men hit raw just because they have money. Y'all both accountable for the kid.
And Toby put her on blast right here. And this is what bad bitches are not used to hearing.
I do agree on the last part of you guys are accountable for the kid, but I do believe that there are a lot of girls out there, a lot of women out there that are very trusting of the guy. Basically, he's going, oh, it's fine, girl. You know, like, I hate wearing those rubbers anyway, but trust me, I got you. And then they do it. And then next thing you know,
guys, come on. There's not even a discussion. Usually when you have sex with a woman, there's not even a discussion. If you, like, once you pull your drawers off, if she doesn't say, hey, do you have a condom? There's no, like, I don't think they went back and forth on the usage of condoms. I'm pretty sure, like she said, they slept for a minute. They took a long ass nap. They woke up, and then Myron, and then they just started fucking. Okay. So I don't think there was a discussion about, oh, you should put a condom on, this and the third. I really don't. What happened was she was feeling it. He was feeling it. Nobody likes protected sex. Okay. And I'm not going to say nobody likes it, but everybody prefers raw sex over protected sex. It's shit. If he wasn't putting the condom on, she didn't give a fuck. That's most likely how it went. It's not that, oh, she says, oh, do you have a condom? Oh, no, baby girl, don't worry about it. I'm good. I ain't never got burnt before, and oh, I'm going to pull out. It's not that. Most of the time, it's not that, especially when it's between two consenting adults who are attracted to each other. That's just not how it goes down.
They get knocked up. But at the same time, though, I'll say this, though, you know, it is up to both of them in that conversation.
Van Lee says, you fucking girls you bring on the podcast is crazy to me. Talk about bad business. Yeah, that's bad business.
The woman put her foot down and say, hey, if it's not...
Ultra Instinct says, in a world where there is over 38 contraceptives for women, the first reaction to this is always, damn, Myron should have had a condom. Men have zero rights when it comes to reproductive actions. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I hear you guys, but at the same time, bro, he should have had a condom. When it comes to, well, she has 38, who cares? Myron and Fresh have already said that you can't trust the woman to, take care of the baby or you can't trust her to, or take care of the after he busts inside. You can't trust her to take care of that side of the conception. Okay. The Red Lens says Myron was hearing ODB in his head. Ooh, baby, I like it raw. Ooh, baby, I like it raw. Exactly. Van Lee says girls' logical mind is damn near deactivated during sex. They ain't thinking about condoms. That's facts.
If you don't got that prophylactic, it ain't happening. You know what I'm saying? But these things do happen, right?
Look, she doesn't agree, and she's super awkward and she's super quirky and this and the third.
These moments do happen in the heat of the moment, in the heat of passion. Things like this happen.
She's loving all of this too.
All right. But I think when it comes to this whole situation, and I can see a lot of people are I can see where people are where the people who are the skeptics that are out there. That's the word I was trying to find. And I'm hopefully we're getting we're answering some of these, the debunking or confirming some of these concerns or questions right now as we are talking to Gray right now. Real quick, Aquarius 0124 just said her justifying their encounters just give him the benefit of the doubt. It is just sad. No is no, regardless of consent.
See, this woman is trying to throw grape on her. Look, she said that it was consensual.
Was given before the act.
And this is what her friends did too. She told her friends about the sexual experience, and now they're coming at her. Oh, it wasn't consensual. Da 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 da. Bruh, if she said out her mouth that it was consensual, it's over. The conversation is dead. Maybe she didn't like the way you pulled her head. You know, when you have sex with a woman, maybe she didn't like it that you rushed from missionary to hitting it from the back. That doesn't mean that you took the wop.
It's
Now,
not sad.
but
It's not sad. It's not sad. It's not a sad thing to do. I just think that I'm not trying to come for this man's throat because he got a lot of shit going on already.
Yo, Van Lee says she's also on another live stream right now. She's been doing interviews for the last 12 to 18 hours. Where's her kid? Exactly. Where is this child at? This nigga over here, you know, dribbling his drool and you know, sucking out snot boogers or some shit.
I don't think it's sad. I think that I'm giving benefit of the doubt where I can, because that's just what people do, and they're genuine. If I was trying to do this for clout, I'd be on this bitch slaying this man, and I'm not.
I see, but you know, but just to come on to the other side of the fence of course, the questions that I have, people are automatically wondering, you know, what I've just asked earlier of like why the text message, why the tweets right now, why not 2 weeks ago, or why not you know, a little bit ago, why right now in the height of him where his ship is going down, right? Slowly but surely is going down. And now you are coming out with this. So that's just a question I think that a lot of people are asking of like, okay, it's happening right now. Why wasn't this before or whatever? So then people are going to wonder, oh, she's doing this for clout. I don't think that you're doing this for clout. I think you're putting out your truth. You're saying what you need to say. You know, but I think a lot of people some people are maybe thinking that way, what I just said earlier. You know what I mean? But it's totally understandable that you feel this type of way. Yes, it is messed up. I still can't believe, like, well, actually, before I even go there, are you going to keep the child?
I'm not sure.
Woo! He asked her straight up, are you going to keep the child? And she says, what? I'm not sure. Stepdaddy.
Abortion is not something that I normally would resort to, but being that I don't really have a support system, and being that I feel like a kid is supposed to have two parents that genuinely love and want them, and even if I can love them with all of my being, I still feel like having that other parent is really important. Because I was a product of one parent, and they tried their fucking hardest, but I can be pretty fucked up about some things. So, you know.
So she already admitted that she was very rebellious to her parents. She just admitted that. So, like I said, guys, this is a woman who calls herself Say Tanisha Miss Cheeks. The header in her Twitter, the header of her Twitter page, and I'm just gonna show you this right quick. It's very demonic. Okay. This is a very demonic woman. I'm not saying she's a bad person, but she is a witch. Christians keep moving. This is a heathen neighborhood. That is her banner on Twitter. She has a very demonic disposition, a very satanic aura. And she embraces that fully by calling herself Satanisha. So, anyways, there was another, let's see. There was another text thread that I got to show you guys. Another text thread. They say, if you got an abortion, I would stay by your side the whole time. That's what he said to her, and she already said that. She says, you have to be you have to at some point have a little bit of accountability in this, and you're like literally blaming everything on me. Every sentence that comes out of your mouth starts with what I'm doing instead of you. What are you doing? What you're doing, or instead of what you're doing. That's what she meant. I need to cool off. My heart is racing and my chest hurts. I have pre-hypertension. Let me cool off and I'll call you, please. No, I'm controlling my emotions. My body is another story. You can't sit here and suppress shit and do shit the wrong way and then think your body is not going to fucking tell you you're wrong. Wow. So I will say this. When he says, oh, I've got hypertension, pre-hypertension, look, this woman's pregnant and he's talking about his hypertension. Relating those two is very difficult. And honestly, I have, I'm more worried about Myron's mental health than Satanisha. Look, Satanisha, she gets down with the devils and the goblins and ghouls. She's already admitted that. She's already said that she's had multiple sugar daddies on the podcast. She's already outed herself for being a Tatiana Explore Page babe of the day. She's already done that. But what Myron says is, I have pre-hypertension. My chest hurts. My heart is racing. He is very nervous that he has got this woman pregnant. And look, I've been through it. I've had pregnancy scares where I've dealt with women who were on demon time and who were Satanishas and, gotten them or they said that I got them pregnant. And I'm like, whoa. Man, like scratching my head. This was before I had money. This is before I had anything. I didn't have anything. So I would my heart was racing. You know what I mean? But I don't know Myron personally, so I don't know if mentally he's going to be able to handle this. But there's so much going on with him as far as it goes to YouTube, people coming down on his head on the YouTube channel. Him having a child, an unplanned child, an illegitimate child, a bastard child, if you will. I don't know if mentally he's able to get through something like this, okay? And I don't know the future of their podcast, but it's, apparently they're going to have a Q&A on Monday. But he says, you keep changing your mind. I can't do this. You're too emotional right now. She says, I didn't change my mind about anything. I said I want to talk in privacy. We both need to cool off. She says, I'm not emotional. I'm irritated with how you're treating me. There's a difference. You have to. Oh, yeah. So that was the original messages. So Buddy says that he's got hypertension and he's stressing out about the pregnancy. So Shorty has gotten him shook. She has him shook. He's on the ropes and it's tough to watch. But as a YouTuber, I had to be very honest and genuine about the situation and how I'm approaching it, because I did come down hard on Abba and Preach about the paying for WAP video and how they handled targeting Myron and them. But Van Lee says, I would bet a lot of money that she will bring the child to term. The clout surrounding this and the adrenaline running through her may be exhilarating. She not throwing this away. Alpha Zo says, modern day women don't raise their kids. Daycare, grandma, auntie, television, and indoctrination educational system. Van Lee says, this is why I am keeping my body pristine and my money up into my 40s, because I want girls 25 and under. Alpha Zo says, 25, I would say 18 to a number. I wouldn't say the number and then down, but I know what you mean though. Pascal's or Alpha Zo says, Pascal want to know, so he asked her out. Stepdaddy. Van Lee says, look how complex her life is at just 27. Imagine wifing up a girl in her 30s. Nah, bruh. Imagine the man who is going to wife her up after she has Myron and another man's child. Now, that's the sad part. Ultra Instinct says, guys, consent is evolving. We have been through no means no to yes means yes to affirmation sex to enthusiastic consent. Men are starting to realize the risk. The juice ain't worth the damn squeeze. Blue Collar Lifestyle says, look on the bright side. Maybe he'll bring this kid on the show. No. Well, apparently he doesn't want any parental rights, which is extremely wrong to me. But yeah, I mean, honestly, if he brings his kid on the show and has him on the panel, that would be lit. Like he turns his little kid into like a YouTube star or something. I mean, he's got to spin this some type of way. So he's got to come back, reposture, and say, I'm devoting my life to being the best father that I can. You know, all this red vitamin shit. We're still going to do the interviews, but I'm going to be a lot softer on the woman. I'm not going to go as hard as I can because, you know, he's going to have to lighten up because a lot of these women who he's bringing on the show, they're going to do their research and they're going to say, hey, he has a illegitimate child. Hey, he slid into Anna Quinn's DMs in an incriminating fashion. Hey, he, tried to leverage his business for sex. Hey, he tried to do these things. There's going to be some women who are going to have some talk back with Myron, okay? Van Lee says, Myron is very mentally strong. He also isn't a slave to the flex, so if his money slows it, we'll be fine, but he has a lot on the line praying for him. Alpha Zo says, be very cautious about these dark atheist, demonic, spiritual, free spirit crystal girls. They are bad for your health, finances, and livelihood. Absolutely, Alpha Zo. Don't get me started on some women who practice witchcraft on men for amusement. Yeah, and Myron and them had a woman who said that she was into that witchcraft stuff as well. It was some voodoo shit that she said that she was practicing. Blue Collar Lifestyle says any woman who's messing with a guy this much is lying 9 out of 10 times about being pregnant. Maybe, which if she's lying about being pregnant, it's a blessing in disguise for Myron, but she definitely is putting him on the ropes. Hopefully he has asked. This is what Myron should have did. Once she told him that she was pregnant, which is what I did with the woman who tried to do pregnancy scare with me, I took her to the crib and I made her pee on a stick, and I was in the bathroom when she peed on the stick so that I could know if she was pregnant or not. Then when the child comes to term, as soon as you can, DNA test. Then and only then will you have crossed your T's and dotted your I's. Fresh Fit and Little Fit Red Lens. That is hilarious. Alpha Zo, certain girls, after you sleep with them, your life goes downhill. Your finances tumble and things in your life don't go right until you cut them off. DJ Academics talked about this. Facts. Van Lee says the funniest thing is through all of this, Fresh is still going to the Louis and Gucci store. Drama is temporary. The flex is forever. Yeah, Fresh said, fuck this. He said, I'm finna be fresh. He said, I'm gonna be fresh either way. Cash Flow said the lead attorney is loving this all too much. All these content creators are taking obvious pleasure in Myron's downfall, and I don't take pleasure in Myron's downfall. Let me be clear. This is a learning experience. This is a teachable moment for all my guys who are in the red vitamin space, who have watched Fresh and Fit and who enjoy their content like me, and who want to see these guys putting into practice what they're preaching. That's my biggest thing. You got, like, when you're talking about avoiding these toxic women, bro, you have to practice dick discipline. Shout out to Alpha Zoe. He says the Kardashian curse. Archie Engineer says, I just came in the live. Did he really get her pregnant? Allegedly. That's what she's saying. We haven't seen a pregnancy test, though. But apparently she showed it on her Twitter. L. Marshall says, nah, man. It's best that he owns up to the mistake, but DNA test first. Yeah, he needs to confirm that she's actually pregnant, and then yes, DNA test. DNA test on the show for max viewership. That's not a bad idea.
I don't know. I have no clue.
I get it.
Yo, like if they did a Maury, you are not the father episode on Fresh and Fit, that would be lit.
And I mean, I honestly hope that you whatever choice you do make, you feel in your heart of hearts is the right one for you, and hopefully if you do just decide to choose life, I hope that Myron is willing to be there, to be a support system, to be there, to be a father to this child.
I agree.
I really do hope that, it is, like I was going to say before I cut my own self off, it is crazy to me that he is not willing to
And I think Myron kind of spoke out of turn. Once that baby comes, your whole perspective changes. Once that baby comes, your whole perspective changes. And when he sees the baby, I think that honestly, like he might, look, boom, I'm gonna handle my business. But I don't know. But I just know, me personally, that's what I would do.
It's crazy to me how he's so easily willing to sign off his rights as a father, as the father of this child. That part is really effed up to me. Like, I'm still trying to, my mind is still wrapped.
Van Lee says the fact that she said she is fertile means a lot. That means she has probably knocked up or been knocked up quite a few times.
Around that piece. I mean, you made this child together. You should take responsibility of this child, or take responsibility and be there for you on whatever choice you end up making, whether you keep the child or not keep the child. I just think it's just wild to me. Absolutely wild to me that that's even on the table right now. Yeah. And the fact that he said, "Oh, I'm just going to abandon it," it's better to abort it than to actually keep it, because I'll just abandon the child, is still just beyond me. Now this is all hearsay and this is all allegedly. Okay, this is just a conversation that you had on the phone with him. There are no receipts of this conversation, but if this is absolutely true, it is heartbreaking to hear this story. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, and he was trying to be nice about it at first. Like, if I were to choose abortion, he told me he'd be by my side for the abortion. But once I just, I hate lizards. Sorry, I fucking hate lizards.
You're in Miami. All those geckos and stuff are everywhere.
This is what strong and independent looks like: being scared of a lizard.
Stop! I hate it so much. Oh my god. But
everywhere, man.
He tried to be nice about it at first, but once I said something that he didn't like, he was kind of like bullying me about it. So that sucked.
Yo, Wiz G said this nigga sound like he want to be the stepfather with the way he virtue signaling. Stepdaddy.
And man, I don't know. I just kind of I want him to learn how to truly interact with women.
Cash Flow says, how does a dating coach recover from their lack of game being exposed? That's a great question. Blue Collar Lifestyle says, maybe Fit is showing us what not to do when it comes with women. Yeah. And I will say this, guys, players fuck up, man. They do. So let's also keep that in mind. Van Lee says, from a business standpoint, I push for the boxing match with Preach right now. Yeah, they need to do the boxing match, put up a big purse, like 1.5 million, so he can pay child support. You know what I mean?
All of these things that are coming out, I want him to learn how to be honest and not be manipulative. And I want him to, like, I don't know. I think he just needs to just grow the fuck up a little. Even if he did decide that he wanted to be by my side for the abortion, I don't even know if I want that, because this has been more than enough manipulation for me. You know what I mean? So,
right. Man. Here it is. It's a crazy story. It's a crazy situation going on. It sounds like,
so that's pretty much it, guys. I just wanted to highlight this to let you guys know what's going on. It's a tough situation, man, and woo! Fresh and Fit, or Myron specifically, is in hot water. He's in hot water, but hopefully, we're gonna keep him in our prayers. We don't want to see these guys fall, even though he's made some big missteps. He's made some big missteps, especially with Anna Quinn. I think that was the second biggest besides getting Shorty pregnant. But that was a huge mistake with Anna Quinn. The way that he handled that situation, that was a big mistake. But anyways, you already know what it is. I'm about to get up out of here. But it's your boy Quarantino Da GAWD, man. Make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe. Send your relationship questions to the email down below with a screenshot of your Cash App, so I know you pay your tithes, man. Y'all need to be on your motherfucking D with the BS. It's your boy Quarantino Da GAWD. I'm out. If you want to see exclusive raw and uncut videos of Quarantino Da GAWD exposing and explaining how to bang OnlyFans chicks, cam girls, and other adult content creators and then toss them to the wayside, look no further. For only $9.99 a month, you too can become the floor slayer you were always meant to be. All you have to do is subscribe to my OnlyFans, and you can unlock the skills that it takes to bang adult models on a consistent and regular basis. Are you scared to talk to that bartender at your local pub? Or afraid to lock eyes with the HBIC in your local titty bar? Want to know how to build up the courage to engage in conversation with that hot Hooters waitress with the tight ass that you always order the 6-piece all flats naked wings with? All you have to do is click the link to my OnlyFans in the description box below. Tino Gang.